Hello and welcome back to Transport Fever 2. When we left off, we threw about every egg we had into one massive basket, which there's nothing to do at the start or see, really. So I'm going to bring up the UI. There we go. Yes, there's our bank balance, and we have 0 we can take out. So we're done on spending for now. And it was a bit early. I wouldn't normally do it like this, but I'm going for a different start. If you want to see how to do it a little safer, well, not safer, but to get things going sooner, and then that's where I play Squirrel's Map on hard mode. Because we're on medium, I've gone all in, and we've made a massive line, which this train will ride down eventually. Let's bring up the load here. We've only got 5 in there. So today we're going to be hitting this button. Fast forward. There we go. I don't mind that. In 1902 we do get a new loco. And it's a bit more powerful than this one. However, we can't afford it yet. Now once this does its run, we'll be good to go. If we bring up the oil well here, you'll see it's already up to 41 per year. And it will continually fill this train. At the moment, it's got 12 in there. It's going to take a while. And, ooh, quick, pay that off. There we go. We've paid off some of our loan. And that will mean less interest payments because we will be paying some. Which means our train is about to do its journey up there with some goodies on. Which it has. It's got 71 on there. If we take a look at the finances, we haven't looked at those yet, really. You'll see we're making a decent amount, aren't we, on the first leg, and now we're going to introduce the second leg to our journey, which is taking the crude that we've refined here all the way up to near Clearwater up there, and we're going to start turning that into fuel. Oh, let's hit play. We will not be doing it to start with as we've not finished the connections. Beaumont oil refinery. So we've got a new oil refinery. This is one of the new features. And another reason why I thought it's probably a good idea to do a big run so we can keep an eye on this side of things. Hopefully we don't get a closure. That is something else that can happen as we're broke at the moment. Although I will say it's definitely an investment, not just throwing money down the drain. We've thrown it at profitable steam trains. So yeah, this is a new industry that's popped up on our map. I would imagine it drew the road as well. And it is indeed connected to Beaumont there. Which, yeah, we should do something with that at some point. It's an interesting one. And what's more interesting is I've played this map a few times and this is not the industry that popped first. Yeah, okay. No, I'll go with that. Maybe an option for it to be tied into the seed, like a little checkbox. Anyway, enough about that. Our train is doing the climb and it's struggling. Good to see. Which brings me to the percentages I was struggling with, mainly because I've not dealt with the per mil, which is the little 0 when you're drawing the tracks out, which we can demonstrate. But yeah, it's getting up there though, isn't it? It's doing 20 miles an hour. We expect it to struggle. It's a bit of a grade. Yes, which we're about to get into. Thank you in the comments for pointing out that it means it's a 1,000. For those that don't know, like me, I just obviously never paid attention in math class at that point. But yeah, you'll see the percentages here. The little tiny 0 means it's 8 in 1,000. So it wouldn't be 8%. It would be that, for instance, would be 0.8%, and 22% is not percent. It's per mil. So that would be 2.2%. What I hoped it meant was it was 1 in 10,000, but that would be 2 little zeros next to it. Yeah, that's where I tripped over myself a touch. Now, Even 2.2% for a freight train isn't really recommended. Not saying there are not grades like that for freight trains. So I went and did a little light reading on train grades, and for freight it's recommended no more really than 1.5%. So I'd probably redo this at some point to try and obey that guideline, and we'll try and do it. So we can't technically draw it, but we'd want this to read. Let's put that straight. It's on a start grade of 0.7% there, but if we hold shift and click up 1, that goes up to 0.3%, so we'd need it up to 15 on here. Right, that's a little over, but no more than that. And then you try and... Oh, what we got here? There's our Atlantic. There we go. 442 Atlantic and 1902, that means. Do we want to obey that going forward? It would be a challenge, wouldn't it? I sort of like that idea. Yeah, so thank you again for highlighting that for me, that it is per mil. Yeah, so when we've got a bit more money, because what I did here is I spent exactly our money, pretty much, didn't I? It was everything we had. So we'll keep the start the same, but I'm going to revisit it, and we're going to try and get up that same slope just here, but we're not allowed, forced rule this is, we're not allowed to go over a 1.5% grade, which is the recommended for freight trains in real life. So there we go. How are we doing over here? Let's stick this back on fast forward. We can't do anything with the train. Oh, we could. It depends, right? We can take out 1 million. Well, no, that's only going to leave us 600. No, less than 500,000. Math is obviously my strong point, which is amazing considering I was a computer programmer for the longest time. But anyway, I digress. How much would it cost? We need to figure out how much we need. Manage vehicle, just to stick that engine on the front. We don't gain anything from the speed, I don't think, because don't the wagons limit our top speed? Yeah, 50 miles an hour. And again, if you watched the previous series, I go into detail about why speed is important. That is potential maximum speed. It's a big factor in how much you earn. But yeah, this doesn't do much for that. And in fact, we'd just be paying for the extra power. Ignore tractive effort. I don't think that's calculated as much as it should be in the physics engine, or the lack of physics engine, but it's a game. We don't need to get into that, it'd be too much. So the power, 952. It would help us on these grades we've got to deal with. But how much would it cost? Let's see. Just to replace that. Oh, look at that. Oh, 659,000, so 660,000. We're just shy. We might be able to do it, right? Stop pausing it, Grand. We've got to wait an eternity for this to happen. Have we got up there? Yes, we're on the way back down. There we go. So stuff has been happening. And we'll keep playing it. Grab the train. Grab the train. I'm not pausing it. Grab it. Got it. Yeah, so how are we doing on finances? There we go. That's healthy, isn't it? Yeah, 3.3 million. Not even full yet. Once we get this one into the equation as well, that's going to be dropping off crude to our refinery here. And then we're going to be taking pretty much a full load back up as well. Every now and again until we're up to the line rates, which we should investigate, shouldn't we? Yeah, currently we've got a line rate of 83 versus 78 per year. We've got to earn some money. Is our train full yet? I think it's going to get close. It should start picking. Yeah, there we go. 137 now. It's up to 92 a year. It's going to balance itself out. If we pin this one, we can just drag it, or you can click on the little pin thing there. Pin icon. We can go over to this one. We've got another new industry pop up. This is the Providence processing plant, food processing plant. Actually, that does appear. That's the second time that's appeared. So, yeah, I take that back then. I just might have missed this one appearing when I played before, because that one definitely appears there. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll know if it obeys the seed if the next one is, what was that, the food processing plant? Yeah, the next one up should be a farm, I think. Unless I missed another one, of course. But if there is a farm, I can't remember where it appears, but there should be one appearing soonish, and then we'll know whether it's seeded. Which is, I like that way around as well, because say you get it slightly wrong, or you see something appear later on, you could plan for that and have another go through, knowing roughly where things are going to be. Then you can account for that, can't you? Yeah, that brings in some planning. Anyway, what was I doing? I got distracted by a new food processing plant. Yeah, let's bring this one up. Grab it. There we go. And this was, to begin with, wasn't it? It was up to 400. And now it's spreading the load a little bit. It takes a little while for anything to work in Transport Fever, as it changes its pathfinding eventually. Over the course of a couple of years usually, and that would be about right, wouldn't it? So yeah, there we go. We've dropped off some more. We've done a couple of runs on this now, haven't we? Yeah. So sometimes we're going to make that amount, and sometimes we're going to make this amount. So that would just be the first leg in that one. But then it leans over into the next year there, but we've already got the payment in as well. And when they're combined, it's going to be 3.3 million. Is our train off yet? It is! There we go, guys. There we go. I'm going to leave it on fast forward, but we're going to get on board. There we go. Oh, yes, horn. Well spotted. There we go, lovely. Well spotted in the comments, by the way. You notice, well, at least Anglo-Saxon noticed that I do use the horn in the outro. I can't help myself. Yeah, I sit there and watch it with you, technically. I mean, not at the time, because everybody's watching it at a different time-ish. But I do watch it, so you can imagine me sitting there, and I just can't help myself, and I press the horn button. We're doing 19 miles an hour. We have got a steep grade, haven't we? We've found that out. I was going for a 5% grade is what we've got in some places. What's this one? This one is between 2.1. Well, it's starting here as 3.2 and then 2.1%. So a little steep. Not the steepest. I was researching what the steepest grades around the world are. The most I saw was 13% grade. Yeah, which would be 130 on this, wouldn't it? I don't even know whether you can get up to 130% grade. I think 75 is the most. Yeah, so that would be 7.5% is the most you can get on this. Well, I'm trying to think now. I don't think I have the realistic slope mod installed. So that might be a thing we do. Yeah, I'll double check that for us, guys. But I recommend putting that in. It gives you a few more notches on creating your slopes. And it might be necessary for what we're about to do. Guys, we're about to head round our little Helix here, as was pointed out. Bit kernel failure-y. Yeah. But we do get to see what our payout's going to be. I'm going to... Oh, that's brilliant. I love that sound. That is one thing about going for the tight angles. You can hear the screeching of the wheels on the tracks there, and I do like that. But anyway, should we get on board for this? I know it's a bit early for a cab ride, but since we're here, and it's probably going to take an eternity to see this again, the plan is, once we get to the bottom, I think we're going to have more than enough in the bank to replace the two locos just to speed things up a little bit, take advantage of the extra power, and it should give us a little bit more up these grades, because tractive effort in Transport Fever only really affects the the slower speeds. It does have an effect on climbing a little bit, but nothing to write home about. You're going to get more benefit from power. But starting off, which is very important, tractive effort plays a pretty big part. Yeah, you would need an excessive amount of extra tractive effort to make up for a big power loss. Oh, it's looking good though, this, isn't it? I do like this. Yeah. I like this a lot, in fact. Right, we're going to get off this. We'll have another ride on that on the way back up. The reason I want to get off it now is I want to see it come down here and see how much we get paid. But I also want to check on the state of... Oh, we're just going back up the hill on that one. Or will we have enough? Well, we've got 1 million we can take out on top of what we've done. It was only 600,000. This is going to pay out big. If you understand the mechanics transport fever, while this looks like a dire situation, it's actually not. In fact, it's far from it. We're going to make... There we go. We're going to make huge amounts of money, so we don't need to worry about it too much. Right, yeah, Clearwater Farm. That was indeed. Yeah, it was a farm, wasn't it? That's what I said. Yes, where is it, though? I could have clicked on it, but I've let it go now. Clearwater. Where's Clearwater? This is Clearwater, isn't it? Is it that one? No, that's Chesapeake Farm. Yeah, it's got to be this one. Yeah, I think it's that one, guys. Not that it matters which one it is, it's just that it was a farm. Yeah, this was here before, wasn't it? Maybe? Oh dear, why didn't I just click on it? Anyway, payday, that's the important thing. Is this our payday train? It is. There goes our one going up the hill. Really struggles up there. Well, I say it struggles. Top speed is what, 50 miles per hour? It's doing 20. Well, I mean, it's losing a bit there, but it's doing 25 miles an hour-ish. I think it drops down to 20. As long as you get up the hill and give us money, that's all we care about. Oh, I've got the money turned off, so we'll highlight this. It should appear down here. As a payment, then we need to hit pause. There we go, 7.4 million, guys. We're going to make sure we drop off all of our goodies, and we're going to let it flip round. Let's just take a look at the line rate, see if I can remember these. We've got 85 and then 69. This one, for the actual fuel corridor, that would take a while because it adjusts the line rate as it's going, and obviously it's taking a long time. We've got a frequency of 30 minutes, so if 12 minutes is a year, it's well over 2 years, isn't it? In fact, it's creeping towards 3 years. Goodness me. So it takes a while. I mean, we've got over a year here as well, which is why I mention all the time that I'd like to see this averaged out, the profit and loss stuff. Shall we change our locos over? What we need to do is take a look once we're into here at got train 1, train 2. We're going to manage in fact, we'll manage this one first. This one's got 14 wagons on the back. Currently we are mediocre. We drop down to 13 miles per hour. The reason I've got these pinned up here is I'll show you the difference in these. This figure here is empty, so that hasn't changed. And if you go, which one's this? Train 2? Yes, train 2. And details, this one is full. So you get conflicting information. I mean, yes, you want to know whether it pulls its own weight, I guess. But what you really want to know is what it's like with a full load, which is this one here, which you can't see unless you actually build it and it gets on the line. So high, 8 miles per hour. I guess, is that because different products have different weights? That could be why that is a thing. Yeah, there we go. That might be it. If they're not different weights, then I don't know. But anyway, yes, so 8 miles per hour currently. So we can't really tell with this. Well, we can, can't we? It's going to be a ratio of that, isn't it? Full and, yeah, so The train itself, you've got to take that into consideration as well. The 10-wheeler, for instance, weighs 120 tons, and the 442 Atlantic weighs 130 tons. So only 10 tons more, but a lot more power. So more than enough gain. And what does a wagon weigh empty? 15 tons. It's not even a wagon difference. There we go. So, yeah, what we're going to do then is we're going to replace this, not with an electric, with a steam Atlantic. And it's going to cost us a bit more now. The reason for that is it loses value over time. So, yes, 1.7 million, we've got more than enough, and we can pay off some of our loan. We'll get you oh yes, look at the pull-in. There we go, 16 now. That's a little bit better, but is it going to do better than the 8? I would imagine so. Let's modify that. Not enough power. Really? Do you know, that surprises me. We've suddenly not got enough power to get up there. Tractive effort is calculated a little more than I thought. Is this a new thing? I mean, it might not be. It might just be... That's interesting, isn't it? They might have changed how tractive effort affects the climb. So this might not be a good idea. Well, it all depends. As long as you can still get up there. We've got a climb either side. This is going to be interesting, guys. Yeah, I'm not sure now. I'm not sure. Let's double check. I'm just going to double check. Yeah, not enough power. I don't believe that for a second. It might be because we edited it. Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a nice experiment, isn't it? Let's pay some of this off while I'm waffling on here and a bit more. And what we should get now, as you go back down, let's do the same on this one, although, do you know, I'm not sure now. That tractive effort seems to be playing a bigger role than it used to. Whether it's actually true or not, I don't know. It could be saying it can't get up, but it might actually get up just fine. Well, we're doing 28 miles up here an hour. 28 miles up here? We don't want to be going 28 miles up. That's a long way. But yeah, there we go. We're doing 28 miles an hour, 29. We're coping with the slope empty. It'll be a little more interesting if we ever get full, which we could do with fuel. But I believe by that time we'll have a much more powerful engine available to us. Loco. Yeah. I think by the end of the episode we should be able to ride this back. We'll fast forward it and do this at normal speed. For any flat sections, this is obviously going to be a lot better, isn't it? Once this gets up to speed, where tractive effort isn't going to be part of the equation, or as much as part of the equation, then it's going to gain. It's going to get up to top speed a little bit sooner with the power, isn't it? I'm going to have to go over the patch notes and see if they changed how tractive effort works. That would be, you know, the amount of times I've wanted tractive effort to be a fairly big part for, especially freight trains. Like, you want it to really pull that weight, don't you? Well, do we have a steep grade as far as transport fever is concerned? I don't think we actually do. That would have to be 75%, I believe, is what high grade is. Medium grade is roughly what we run on. 3.75% then would be about the halfway point. So we're a little over medium, somewhere between medium and high. So I feel like we've got enough grunt on our train. It's a little bit of an interesting start doing it like this. I normally avoid this kind of start for a video series because you want little payments often so that you can expand faster. But we have a plan. The plan is, soon as we've done, I guess, another run and drop off more. I should fast forward it, shouldn't I? Yeah, once we've dropped off some more oil, we've got the other thing now where we're picking up a full load every time. This is just going to keep filling up similar to what we saw in the previous episode, and filling up until it uses up all of its storage here. But that means it's not waiting around like it was to begin with, and that's gonna make us money much sooner. We're down to 1.6 million. We are making a lot though every time that train turns up. Let's just take a look at the finances, and yeah, there we go. So you add all these red bars up next to this blue bar, and you can see it's more than paying for itself. And in fact, the more we add to this line, the more goodies we're picking up. Remember, we're going to be taking fuel all the way back to Palmdale there, and that's going all the way from technically up here. So we'll get paid for this leg on that line that we've got. Let's bring up the lines. So we've got the brown line here, which is going to be bringing some fuel back down this way, dropping off and exchanging it over to our swirly orange line there. And then we're going to be taking that through the station there and all the way, where are we? Down to Palmdale. We'll probably sit down here somewhere so we can drop it off and start heading back. We'll still make plenty of money off it, and then we'll take it into Palmdale with some trucks, so we can get some trucks underway, and then I can show you alternative platforms, alternative platforms. Yeah, we're up to 73 now on the line rate, so all in all, it's doing all right, isn't it? Total line rate between the two lines that this can handle is 400. The quick way to look at it would be come down here and it'll give you a suppliers. There we go. 256, 144, that is 400. We have yet another new industry, and this was the next industry that appears. Okay. Yeah, okay. So it's definitely by seed. That's good to know. I like that, yes. So if you wanted to play the map and see what, say, the first few industries are that appeared and jot them down, and then you reload the map again from the beginning, it adds another layer to the game. Anyway, what we're going to do, we're going to end, aren't we? Riding down the hill, I think. So we'll fast forward. Oh, we're still on fast forward. I thought it was playing at normal speed, but our little freight trains here, our little steam trains, really struggle up the hill. We are absolutely chock-a-block now as well. That would explain why it was a little slower. We're on the fast leg up here. Yeah, look how quickly we go over that bit. That's probably where we make up some of our line rate, where our tractive effort might let us down a touch. Right, shall we pause it there? And we're going to get a payday here, and we're about to get a payday there. So I think next time out, what we're going to do is we're going to see how much this makes, and we're going to accept our, what was it? What did we make on this? This is train 2, isn't it? Yeah, what did we make on this? 7.5 million nearly. We're going to accept our 7.5 million graciously, whatever that is as well. Let the train drop off. Then we should possibly have enough money to complete the line, because we don't need another train yet. We've just got to draw the line, make sure it's connected. We will, down here, make sure it's connected, put a truck line on it, make sure that is active, then extend our fuel hauling line, our long haul fuel line, and we can get this underway. We can start producing here, which is then going to start pushing towards an upgrade in all of these. Then we can start double tracking in places, have some passing loops down our long section here wherever it's necessary, and then we're good to go, aren't we? We're going to have to judge that and probably move them around, but we're going to have as many trains on here as possible to meet the line rate and get longer trains as well. And that way, with the long train, I'll show you how it works with the penalty that you get for long trains and shorter platforms. So there we go, guys. I'll leave you on board this. A bit of a different one today. An exploration into how the calculations work, as well as what sort of things you're going to face, what sort of waiting you're going to face when you go the longest route first. If we compare it to the hard mode one, we're up and running faster. Is this going to be more profitable in the long run? Probably. Each train we add to this line, up to the maximum line rate that the factory is willing to accept, or the refinery in this case, is willing to accept, is going to make us a huge profit, especially with taking fuel back the other way as well. And the sooner then we can get Palmdale growing, or pass that off to another train, we could take it maybe across the map, or even have another train pick it up. But yeah, lots of money to come, and those paychecks are going to be huge. So then you need to do big expansion, whether that's a new train or a new line. Perhaps we should look into another smaller line so that we've got some more frequent payments to go along with this big boy that we've got here. So join me next time where it's time to build to Palmdale, and I'll be looking forward to that and getting a big payday. And until then, take care.